This is just not good. Fast Nation, how are you guys doing today? Terrific day here in PA to work on the Banshee. So let's get started. So in the last episode, we did a collaboration with Michael Sabo, and we had this thing out and we were ripping hard. To the point where this thing got, I think it got overheated because of being lean on the mains, but I won't know until I dive in and check things out. And I will tell you is, I always get really excited to work on things before I start filming, so it kind of sucks because you guys seem to miss out on a few things here and there, but I always cover them in the videos. So let's take a look at what I've done so far. Alright guys, so I removed the gas tank, took the plug wires off, and I did a compression check last night. I took the plugs out, did a compression check. For those of you who are on my Instagram, check me out, Stupid Fast John. I post things on my Instagram days before usually they go in the video. So if you guys ever want to see stuff before it hits the YouTube, it definitely hits Instagram first. So I did a compression test. We got to 165 with ease on both cylinders. Wound up getting it up to 180 before it stopped. Now I know some of you were saying, oh, I should be running race gas. Well, I get that. I did not realize the compression was that high. When we did a compression test a few weeks ago in one of my previous videos, it wound up being 135 PSI. So I was not aware that the compression was that high. I guess maybe from wearing in on the cylinders and whatnot, this bad boy has come up in compression a little bit. So keep that in mind. I have been running 94 VP ethanol-free fuel. But yeah, so let's get started. Today what we're going to do is, since we got the compression check out of the way and looking down into the cylinders, everything looks fine. I can't really see the cylinder walls or anything, but compression's good. Nothing's hard to kick over or anything like that. So I'm not going to tear the head off of this. What I am going to do, though, is I have some parts to install onto this, and then we're going to fire it up and see what she's like. All right, guys. So I have a bunch of little things here that I picked up off eBay. I have like a temperature gauge for the coolant so we can keep an eye and monitor that. I have plug boots. Compliments of Mr. Sabo. Thank you very much, sir. Don't forget to stop by, check out his channel. So brand new boots, brand new wires, and I'll show my old ones in a second. I also have a chain slider for my saggy extended chain. And then also I have a skid plate. I've been dying to get my hands on a skid plate for this beast because up on the rocky trails, this thing was just an animal. It sits too low and it bumps everything. I can feel it here and there, and I'm just like, no, I can't risk anything. It's a fresh quad. I don't want to hurt nothing. So I went out and got a skid plate ASAP. I do have a couple more things on order for this. I do have a vacuum synchronizing tool for the carburetors. So that'll be probably in the next video when it comes in the mail. And also, we're going to rejet this today. I don't have the jets here. I have them over on the bench. We're going to rejet this. So we're going to go ahead and up the main, probably like 175, just to see where we're at, and then drop the pilot down to a 50 to start. And then we'll do some plug reads and see where we're at. I can't think if I'm missing something else here. Oh, I listened to you guys in the comments who said use engine ice to keep it cool. I have engine ice on order, and get the billet impeller. So the oversized billet impeller from Chariot. So I have those things on order too. I can't put those in today because I don't have them yet. So we're going to start with the jetting and all the other stuff we have today. And then we'll get the other stuff done when it comes in the mail. I can only go as fast as the parts can come in, guys, okay? One last thing before we get started. The plug wires. I forgot to show you guys the plug wires. Okay, so let's have a look here. All right, we're going to see some things like there's a nick in this wire. Now, you guys won't be able to see what I saw last night, which was these were wet all along the outside of the wire here. And this one has the stopper on it, which plugs this into the coil and stops them from coming out, and they were still wet on the ends. So I don't know if that, oh, you can actually see that's pretty shot out. I bet you that doesn't even get good contact on it. With the new ones, we'll go ahead and put dielectric grease on them when we screw them in, and that should help them have a really good contact. And then maybe put like a dab of grease around the outside of the wire so water can't get in there next time. So these will be getting replaced though tonight, so we can rule that right out. All right, so let's get started.
We're going to keep this one fairly simple. What we're going to do here is take the caps off the carburetors, remove the slides, and take the carburetors off the intakes. We're going to get the carburetors over onto the bench, remove everything, clean everything, check out all the passages. What I did notice when I got the bowls off of the carburetors is that the main jet was actually a 150, and I thought it was a 160. I know, get me in the comments below, but 150 is way too lean for this 472. Mike's quad was running, I think, a 150, and his is only a 421 with 35mm carbs, and so the 150 on my 39mm carbs on the 472 was definitely not enough. So that is definitely a extremely lean condition. Also, the pilot jets were a 60, which is really too rich for this. So we're going to bump those down to a 52, which is the smallest pilot jet I have right now available to me. And we're going to bump the mains up to a 178 from the 150. We're going to start there, which I'm hoping is rich, and then we're going to do a plug read and hopefully have to bring that down a little bit. Probably not too much though, that's what I'm thinking. At 1,500 feet of elevation, that shouldn't be too bad. That shouldn't be too far off. Also, the air screws, I did take those out, clean them off real good, and adjust those back to 2 out, which has been the setting that I've always used, and we'll see when we get it fired up on idle if it needs a little adjusting or anything like that. Once we get this all put back together, we'll fire it up and we'll check all that stuff out. So one other thing I did forget to mention was that when I put the carburetors back onto the intakes, I removed the needle out of each slide, checked what type of needle it is, which I believe was a DGK or DGH, and I have it written down, but I actually took the needles out, which it was in the middle slot, and I moved the clip down one, which would raise the needle up a little bit, so that way it would give me a little bit more mid-range fuel to hopefully richen up that center section as well. I'd rather keep this a little on the rich side and then slowly bring it back down to where it needs to be, so keep that in mind as well. So here you're going to see a few shots of me putting the new coil wires and boots on. And then you're going to see me taking the swing arm plate, the skid plate that I just picked up, and I'm going to be notching out a section of that to fit the new chain slider. I believe it's a mod quad that I got off eBay used. I think it was like 20 bucks. I know brand new they're actually like 60 or 80 bucks or something like that. They're actually not that cheap. They're actually pretty expensive. So yeah, I had to notch the skid plate out just a little bit for that because it didn't fit, and I really want the chain slider on with this extended swing arm to stop the chain slap because I'm really nervous about the chain jumping off and getting jammed up in the cases, which is very, very common on the Banshees.
Alright guys, tank is on, gas is on, let's get her fired up. Did plug wires, plug boots, got all that situated, got the carbs rejetted, air screws 2 turns out, cleaned everything out, excellent, so everything looks really, really good. I was definitely wrong on the main jet. It was a 150, we upped that to a 178. Pilot was a 60, we dropped that down to a 52. Skid plate, chain roller on. We're not going to put the temp gauge on today. We're going to wait until we get the billet water impeller the oversized one from Chariot, as well as the heatsink and the synchrometer. So we'll do that stuff in the next video. I have a question that I want to ask you guys that I hope you're willing to answer in the comments below, but I've been thinking about changing up the music here on the channel a little bit. I know I play like EDM and stuff like that a lot, and sometimes rock, but I've been thinking about going towards the rock a little bit more. So if you guys would prefer rock over the EDM, let me know in the comments below. I'm kind of curious to see what the general pop on the channel wants to hear, as I do care about your guys' opinion, and if you're happy with the content, always let me know, because I'll take that into consideration when I'm doing the next videos. Also, another big thing I want to talk about. Me and Michael Sabo have been working towards something special for you guys, but I know a lot of you have asked to go out riding and whatnot with us, so we hear you guys, okay? We really do. We hear you. And I want to do two things. Number one, I want to do a 5,000 subscriber giveaway. I'm not sure what I'm giving away yet, but I'm just calling it out in this video so everybody's aware of it. I know some of you have seen my community post, and a ton of good suggestions, great suggestions from you guys. I think I might do a couple. I might pick a couple people randomly out of the list, but we'll talk about that in the next video. I'm not going to get too in depth with that. What I really do need from you guys, though, is me and Mike want to put together a huge kind of like ATV quad dirt bike show of some sort, and do like a barbecue and like maybe a small drag race at the bottom of the field or something like that. I don't know. We're tossing the idea around. So what we were wondering is, from you guys, could we possibly ask you guys if there's anybody in PA who has an open field and is willing to let us do something like that? We don't care if it's like a dead cornfield or something like that, as long as there's enough space to fit a lot of quads and a drag race, because I think there's going to be a lot of you guys who want to come ride with us. And so that's something I'm asking, is if any of you have open field, we definitely want to do something like a waiver and have you guys sign off and stuff like that, so that in case anybody gets hurt, they can't sue and all that fun stuff, because we know how that works these days. Anyways, we'll do like a $5 entry fee or something like that. I don't even know yet. We're working the details out. But I'm asking you guys to let me know if anybody's got an open field where we could race these things, have some barbecue, enjoy the day, meet a bunch of new and great people, do some drag racing, whatever the case is, and show our machines off to each other. So, if you guys know of any place, let us know in the comments below or message us on Instagram. As always, guys, if you enjoy the content, please let me know in the comments below. More than happy to hear what you guys have to say. Let me know what you think of the Banshee's progress. I'm dying to get this thing out and try it. I got a couple things we want to do in the next video before we take it out for another rip and do a plug shop on it. So as always, if you enjoy the content, hit me a like, share, don't forget to subscribe, and as always, thanks for watching. See you next time, guys.